Hello everyone, Loremaster Sotek here, and I know I'm a day late because I was not alive yesterday. It's okay though, I survived. But it's here, we're getting just more announcements on a week-by-week basis, it seems, and oh man, I'm getting excited, man. I'm getting excited. Look at this. Look at it. It's so good, man. Oh, it's so beautiful. All of Grand Cathay. Look at that. Got the Great Bastion, and it connects over here to where the Dragon River starts, and then you got the ocean. We got the full Jade Sea, or at least a lot of the Jade Sea. Oh my god. Look at all these lands, and it goes right to this border with Koresh, and then we've got these lands around the Kingdoms of End, and we got new forests showing up. The jungles of Xi'an. That's a solo so these are provinces. So we got a solo province here, which is probably going to be a new wood elf thing. And then we got the haunted forest, probably some more wood elf stuff. You got the mountains of Morn all here. And then the chaos wastes look gigantic. I mean, god damn, the chaos wastes look big. And we've got like all of this unused space up here that we might see more of in the future. Chaos wastes go across the northern chaos wastes cross the entirety of the planet. Got a little bit of Western Ocean with like we got the Shattered Islands, and then you go down the Iron Coast into the Red Desert. But these look like full actual provinces now, not squished little sad things. And we could sail all the way around Lustria, no problem. Oh my good god, dude. The Great Ocean looks absolutely massive, and you could totally fit in some fish people, just saying. This looks beautiful, dude. And look, it looks so much better sized. Like, Albion is a good sized island now. It is much more accurate to its actual size when compared to the Old World and Norska. And the Old World and Norska look appropriately sized, much more than they did in Total War Warhammer 2. You got the Darklands over here. Oh man, it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. You got the Great Desert of Araby, the Western Jungle, Land of the Dervishes, Jungles of the Gods, Dawn's Landing. We got the Southern Chaos Wastes. You got the Eastern Colonies. Oh, it looks wonderful, man. Demon's Landing, the Abyssal Glacier, the Demonium Hills, the Icefire Plains, the Lustrian Strait. Oh my good god. It looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. All right, we got an article to read, but I could not be more pleased with this. Could not be more pleased with this map. All right. Hello, Total War Warhammer fans. In last week's blog, we not only offered our first look at Immortal Empires, but noted that the new game mode represents the world-spanning vision that we've been driving towards since first beginning our work on the trilogy nearly a decade ago. Nowhere is that better represented than the campaign map, the massive battlefield where your armies will be fighting, raiding, sacking, and conquering in the search of immortal glory. This is the quintessential sandbox experience of the Total War Warhammer campaign, and today we're excited to not only offer a sneak peek at the beta version of the map, but provide a first look at the new Sea Lanes feature being introduced along with Immortal Empires. The Immortal Empires map is massive, the biggest map any Total War game has featured to date, and nearly twice as large as the Mortal Empires map first introduced in 2017 to Total War Warhammer 2. For perspective, the number of settlements has not only increased from 401 to 554, but the number of starting factions has also increased from 183 to 278. Note these figures may change as we receive beta feedback. Neat. We've also said that the release of Total War Warhammer 3 is only the beginning of the journey. To that end, you can expect the number of playable legendary lords and races to continue to grow as we release new DLC and free content to the game. This means that there will always be fresh new ways to approach Immortal Empires in the months and years to come as new forces join the battlefield. While we won't dive into the intricacies of start positions quite yet, look for those soon, you may expect a variety of nifty changes which will make the experience fresher, more challenging, and even more relevant to Warhammer lore. You may just find a certain Kraken Lord pillaging Grand Cathay, or a stealthy skink taking the fight right to Chaos's front door. All right, so we've already got it confirmed that Oxiodal and Lokir Felhart will be moving locations. So that means, sounds like Felhart is going to be in Cathay and no longer in Chipiodal. And Oxiodal, I guess, will be leaving northern Nagaroth and going somewhere. Chaos has a lot of front doors if you want to get technical. And then the sea lanes. With the scale of the Immortal Empires map in mind, sea lanes have been introduced to add flexibility to your globe-trotting adventures. Interacting with them will provide the options to travel from east of the map to the west and vice versa, with the exception of the Underworld Sea. Oh, that's so cool. Which connects the Sea of Malice to the Boiling Sea, allowing for more exotic confrontations to be had, new allegiances to be formed, and unique role-playing opportunities when once distant factions meet for the first time. Any lord or hero will be able to move into the sea lane markers, allowing them to set sail and reach their destinations after being at sea for a few turns. That is sick. So here's the Underworld Sea. Oh, dude, the Underworld Sea, also known as the Black Way, has so much cool lore. It is where it is highly likely that it is the origin. It's likely not used by them as much anymore. They may have abandoned it for the deeper oceans, but it's heavily implied that the Underworld Sea is where the fish people used to dwell, the Fishman race, and where many of the ruins of their former empire can be found before they headed into the deeper trenches for some reason, likely to do with the old ones, if I had to guess. And then, excuse me, it also is how the Dark Elves were able to find a way to the Western Seas, because the Dark Elves could not actually get to the Western Cathay and End and all those guys were actually pretty much immune to raids from the Dark Elves for quite some time, because the Dark Elves could not get any of their vessels to the Western shores. Crossing, the Dark Elves have very, very little control over Western Nagaroth, and obviously they can't pick up the Black Arcs and carry them across the land, but they discovered the Underworld Seas, which allows them to traverse under the earth and pop out down here. It also allows them to go much further than that. It allows you to go into Central Lustria, but I think for the purposes of this game, this is a really, really cool way to show it. And it also, as you can see, allows you to go to the red ones, which pop out right next to Cathay. So it's just a really good representation of that. It looks like we've also got kind of a channel that allows you to fast travel around the hinterlands of Koresh. I'm assuming that's mostly because just there's nothing there, and you probably can't go in there, just like you couldn't go into Athel Loren at the start of Warhammer 1. You know, so you need a way around, so you're not just sailing for a million turns around there just being nothing. But this is gonna make the oceans really exciting. I kind of hope that if you use the sea lanes, like you have a small, it'd be fun if there was like a small percentage chance of being attacked by pirates or sea monsters and stuff like that. Just make it a little dangerous and make the oceans feel a little bit more alive. But really, really like that. I really, really like the sea lane mechanic. And of course, that is going to give us our global experience, despite the fact that we are on a essentially a flat Earth, because the Warhammer world is not flat. All right. Though included within the map, not all landmasses and oceans will be traversable at the launch of Immortal Empires, such as Koresh and End. Our focus for the Total War Warhammer trilogy has always been on the races of 8th edition, with some exceptions such as Grand Cathay, Norska, and Kislev, and Vampire Pirates, and Vampire Coast, and the list will probably continue to grow. And the areas where these races reside remain our immediate design priority. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to put a lot of work into probably getting Cathay, the Darklands, like just all the Warhammer 3 spaces to be all cleaned up and nice and looking. So yeah, don't even touch into Cathay or Koresh for now, guys. Let's leave that for later. It's also worth remembering that Immortal Empires campaign map isn't a simple stitch and fit job. The Old World, the Eye of the Vortex, and the Realms of Chaos campaign maps are designed to be unique standalone experiences. Simply put, they're different shapes and sizes that don't fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. This is a sandbox mode first and foremost, so mechanics such as the Eye of the Vortex and Realm of Chaos Invasion also won't be present here. I will say I am not against... I'm totally fine that there is no Vortex scenario. I do hope that I would love for them to make the Isle of the Dead in the center of Ulthuan a capturable location that is like not friendly to anyone. And if you do capture it, you maybe, if you build it like it's like a solo region province, and if you build up the Isle of the Dead all the way to level 5, which should be an agonizing experience to do that, but if you manage to do it, maybe you can like siphon the power of the vortex, and it gives you like a really cool faction-wide buff to controlling like winds of magic. So maybe like you're increasing your winds of magic and lowering enemies' winds of magics if they're in the regions with your armies. That could be really cool. I will say the demonic invasions, I don't think those will be super well missed, to be honest. I really liked that mechanic, but I know a lot of people didn't. I will say that obviously the Realms of Chaos are not on this map, at least at this time. I really hope they eventually add the Realms of Chaos. I think those maps were amazing, and to me it kind of seems like a huge shame to just not have them in the game at all for some reason, or in any way, so to speak. Like I really think it could be worth adding them up here in the top right corner. I'm assuming this is just going to be void space, not a landmass. If this is just void space, I think they could absolutely add, even if they had to do like smaller versions of the Realms of Chaos. I need to do a separate video about it, but I really think they could put the Realms of Chaos into this map and do them justice. And I know to some people that may sound crazy, but even if they were miniaturized versions, because you know you're not having to run around them as part of a race, I do think there's some really cool stuff you could do with those. But I have to say that I am immensely pleased with this map. I really hope they well, maybe not yet, but I hope when the game is over, like when the game for this is completely done, they release a very nice quality fabric or kind of that cloth map kind of structure. Because I'll tell you what, CA, if you don't do it, I will do it. I got connections now. Like we're working on merch type excuse me, we're working on merch type stuff for this channel, and I know a guy that can make some really crazy stuff. And if y'all don't do the cool shit, I will. That is a threat. But I must say, I am immensely pleased with this. I'm so happy to see the Dragon Isles where they're supposed to be and not like way out in the boonies. The Eastern colonies look really exciting. And that's it's gonna be interesting to see which of these islands are actual regions. And you can see there's just all sorts of just amazing stuff. There's actually, looking at this, there are a number of provinces that are borderline new, if not having been redrawn. You can see the Broken Teeth. So Nagashazar has been redrawn. So it looks like it's Nagashazar in the center, and then to the right and the left are new places. Man, I'm gonna have to like sit down with a map and go, oh, look, Estalia is now 2 provinces. So the Arana Mountains is a province and Estalia is a province. That's super cool, and would be really nice if there was like a Estalian faction maybe coming in the future. That would give them a lot more space to play around in. And it looks like they've got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. So it looks like they maybe got a 2 region province and a 3 region province. That's really exciting. Talea is 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Talea's got 3 regions. You got the Pirates Current, the Western Border Princes, the Vaults. Athel Lauren is still nice and beefy. We got all these little passes. Doesn't look like, okay, it doesn't look like there's any passes in Nagaroth yet. I don't expect it at launch for Immortal Empires, but I do hope at some point, just like we have the passes, the Winter's Teeth Pass, Axebite Pass, and Gisero Gap. I hope we get those in Nagaroth to add the watchtowers between Nagaroth and the Chaos Wastes. Because, good lord, the Chaos Wastes are probably going to be a nasty place fighting their way into Nagaroth. And I would love to see, like, you know, that way we'd have the High Elf Gates in Ulthuan, the Empire Bretonia fortresses in the old world, and then we could have the Dark Elf watchtowers up here. Oh my god, this looks so good, dude. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh. Nearly 30 years I've been waiting for this shit. Oh, the barrier idols province, very cool. I love the barrier idols. Really funny story. Barrier idols is literally like a large set of like, imagine like what are they called? The idols of Gork. It's basically a bunch of, they're not idols of Gork. They're more just big like totem, you know, kind of like the Easter egg or the Easter Island statues. Easter egg. The Easter Island statues, the big like heads. It's kind of like that, but with like a bunch of, obviously they're like Gorky and Morky, but the Savage Orcs of the Badlands actually raised a bunch of really big statues or dung piles or bone, like they use like dung, bone, and just stone and whatever they can find, and they made a bunch of Gorky statues and idols, which are known as the barrier idols, along the southern Badlands. And the Savage Orcs put so much faith into the fact that they will work, and they put so much of their faith into their construction that they actually do work at repelling the undead, which actually makes it harder for the Tomb Kings to go north of there. It doesn't stop them from going north of it, but it does help in preventing the Tomb Kings from doing so lightly. I would love to see that be a building represented. Like if you take maybe like Galbaraz, with like Wurzag, or maybe any green screen character, but especially Wurzag, you could build that to help fight against the Tomb Kings. That could be really fun. I will say I really hope they're doing some moving around in Araby. I think with this new Great Desert, look how huge this province is. So the Great Desert of Araby looks like it doesn't have any regions in it. I'm guessing it's just one big province. I wonder what they're doing with that. Because you could easily split this into 3 or 4 settlements. But I will say, I personally really hope they move Archon the Black out of the Land of Assassins and move him back home to like the Great Mortis Delta or the Cracked Land. Because frankly, I think there is a very high chance we're going to get something Araby related. And while the Great Desert of Araby would be cool for that, I would really like to just open up this space so it's not quite as busy over here between the Bretonnians and Archon. Plus, I think Archon starting in his tower would make him much more of a late game or early game threat, and much less likely to get his ass handed to him so quickly. Because it's not like he does anything being an ocean-faring race. Like, he literally just starts fighting his way inland. And you know, obviously you have the Vampire Coast down here, which I like that the Vampire Coast is an ocean province, not a land province. So I'm assuming the Jungle of Webs is where the Vampire Coast is. But I think that's really clever. But like, you know, if those two are going to be friends, Luther Harkin and Archon the Black, I think they could still be friends, but have Archon the Black start in his tower. I don't think that would be hard. And I think it would get Archon the Black a much more aggressive, nasty start for him and Cetra to be slapping each other around while also dealing with everyone around them. But I gotta say, I am elated by this map. I think the only thing I don't see that I want to see is I wish right here up by Ostland, I want the Forest of Shadows, guys. I want it right here. The forest. Oh, so we got the Misty Hills as a province. I don't think that's new. I think the Misty Hills we had in Warhammer 2 at some point. But god damn, this looks amazing. There's so much territory. There's so much territory. This looks so good. This looks so good. And you can see, oh, Kislev is so busy. You got the Western Oblast, the River Linsk. So the River Linsk is where Erengrad is. Then you got the Western Oblast, you got Troll Country, the Cursed City, so there's Prague, the Eastern Oblast, River Orskoy, which is Kislev City or Kislev, and then the Southern Oblast. So Kislev is pretty packed. I bet there's gonna be some ugly fighting going on down there. And looks like Norska's been redrawn a little bit. But god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Every day we approach closer. The Chimera Plateau. Where are my Chimera, CA? Give me my Chimera, please. Oh my god. Noblar Country, the Mouth of Ruin, the Plain of Zar, the Blasted Waste, the Wolflands, the Desolation of Asgore. Gash Kadrak, Zorn Uzkul, the Path to the East, the Skull Road, Ancient Giant Lands, the Bone Road, the Mountains of Born, the Ivory Road, Worm Pass, the Wastelands of Jin Shin, the Celestial Riverlands, Broken Lands of Tian Li, which is... Okay, so the Broken Lands is what connects End to Cathay, so that's super interesting. The Lizard Sea, the Eastern Sea of Dread, the Great Canal. Oh, look at these big rivers. Look at these, like, super big rivers they have notated on the map. So you can see the River Reich is notated as being very large, and you can also see a lot of these the rivers in Cathay are notated as being large. They're notated the same as the ocean. I wonder if that means we can sail them, because that would be pretty hype. If you could actually like sail inland, that would be pretty hype. As long as you can't sail the Dragon River, you shouldn't be able to sail the Dragon River, because if you try and sail it, it rips your souls out. Are there any other like inland rivers? Okay, no, there's one here. So there's an inland river here, it looks like, leading to the Witchwood. There's none in Nagaroth. There's none in Ulthuan. Doesn't seem to be any in Lustria. There's none in the Southlands. Oh, I'm kind of surprised they didn't put one here, because the Chaos Dwarfs like dug a canal leading up to, like, they literally connect this sea, the Frozen Sea, this little thing you see right here. There is a large river that was dug all the way here to Zorn Uzkul, and then they dug it all the way to the Falls of Ruin down here, and then it digs down here to it goes down the Falls of Doom to, it follows the river down to Zarnagrand, and then Zarnagrand like dumps all their pollutants into the river, and it becomes all gross and becomes the River Ruin, and it flows all the way down here to the mouth of Ruin. I wonder if maybe they're gonna add that into the map once we get Chaos Dwarfs, who hopefully will be the next big DLC after the Champions DLC. But yeah, this looks incredible. This looks incredible. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on it. Please let me know, what are you most excited about? Obviously we've been getting little hints about a lot of things. So the characters we know for a fact are moving so far now are Oxyodel, Lokir Fellheart, Volkmar the Grim, Grombrindle, and Gorst. Those are the characters we know for 100% sure are moving around, and I would say it's very likely that we'll probably have I imagine none of the Chaos Champions are going to be starting up in the Skull Road anymore. I imagine that Sigvald, Kolek, and Archaon will be other places. Oh man, then you got to think about where all the Warhammer 3 guys are going to go. This is exciting. This is very exciting. Let me know what y'all are most excited about. I don't really have much to add. I don't know if I'm going to be doing much in the way of prediction stuff, because there's so much. I'll probably be talking about stuff more on live streams than I will on videos. I don't know. It's one of those things I got to kind of consider, especially because there's like other YouTube videos I want to be working on right now. But if you have any thoughts, let me know. I have to say that I am immensely pleased with this. Literally the only thing I see on this map that kind of has me disappointed is that there's no Realms of Chaos. Even if they were smaller, I really want to see them added into the game. Granted, I think that we would probably have to like find a way to implement them better. Not in the sense that they're, in the sense that they would have to serve a different function, because obviously it wouldn't be based around the campaign that Warhammer 3 focuses on. It would have to be like they exist and you have the ability to go there to fight the gods for some reason. But I could see that being a really fun in-game or medium game type goal, where you like try to go there to compete against the gods. Whether you're like a chaos worshiper and you're trying to earn their favor, or you're a good guy and you're trying to like deal them a blow or something. But I definitely think there's something that could be done there. I also hope we get to see the Isle of the Dead in the Vortex. Not in the sense of taking over the Vortex, but I would love to see a way for players to be able to influence it by going there and messing with things. Oh, look at that. Avalorn's back to being a island. I don't know if that was the case in Warhammer 2. Yeah, I'm immensely pleased with this map. There are definitely more things I'd like to see added. But I'm really, 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 really happy And I'm super excited to see this. I still like the only like I'm literally just scraping as hard as I can against the bottom of the barrel for things that I still want to see, because they've done so much good stuff. Like, I still want to see the Black Chasm, the Skaven of the Black Chasm in Bretonnia. I still want to see the Forest of Shadows in the north, the Northeastern Empire. I still want to see the Realm of Chaos. I still want to see the Isle of Dead be conquerable. Obviously, I want the map to be pushed further west, but that's something they could do in the future. We saw that a lot in Immortal Empires. I mean, in Immortal Empires, the map just kept getting shoved further and further west. So they could absolutely still do that. I think north and west are directions I would like to see or sorry, not west, east. I would love to see them keep pushing the map north and east. We've seen them do it before. I believe they can keep doing it in the future. So, you know, we don't have Nippon. We don't have the Lost Isles of Elethis. We don't have Warhammer Korea. And we don't have the Realms of Chaos yet, but we might see those in the future. I think it's going to depend a lot on how Warhammer 3 does. Honestly, everything is coming up boxcars for me right now. The only thing we're still waiting on, obviously, is just to see how it plays. And like all the characters moving around and stuff. I really hope they're putting their all into this, and they're doing everything in their power to make this be the best release that it can be. You know, essentially being a second hard launch for Warhammer 3. And but so far I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased. So I wonder if you're going to be able to sail these, like, if you could sail the boiling sea all the way up through all this mess, I think that would be pretty hype. I definitely do wish the map was a squitch just the tiniest bit more here, but like, there's nothing in the boiling sea, because the boiling sea, as the name implies, is incredibly deadly. There's very few things that can handle it. So it's not really one of those places you'd want to sail to, because there's like nothing going on over there, and the Shattered Isles are not inhabited by anyone. But whatever. But yeah, let me know what's y'all's favorite part about the new map. What do y'all think about the sea lanes? Is there anything that surprised you? Is there anything that is missing that you really want to see? Let me know. I would love to hear your opinions. You know what I'm really excited about is Lokir Felhart left Chup Yodel. You know, Chup Yodel, the sunken city, the city where we know there's a bunch of fish people. It's one of their like greatest cities. I'm not saying we're going to get fish people. I'm just saying they've cleared out one of the known capitals of the fish people to put Lokir Felhart over in Cathay. So who knows? But thank you all so much for watching. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get more information. I guess next week. It seems they're doing a weekly basis now. So anyway, I'll see you guys then. Well, I'll see you before then probably, but I will see you guys also then. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.